I groaned loudly and used a pillow to cover my ears due to the loud blaring music which my idiotic husband is playing, and I know he's doing this to irritate me. Can today get better? I mumbled as I rose up from the bed and wore my fluffy slippers and left for downstairs. Getting downstairs, I met Xander sitting on the couch crossed-legged. I folded my hands under my breast and glared at him before clearing my throat to announce my presence, and it worked because he looked at my direction and smirked, which I returned with glares. Don't you have anything to do than to always disturb my sleep? I shouted. Calm down, she-goat. I hate it when he calls me she-goat. Why do you like barking like a dog? He asked with disgusted face. I told you not to call me stinking name again, I said, gritting my teeth in anger. Wow, Mrs. MC Donald is angry, he said mockingly, and that was it. I jumped on him and started eating him. How dare you eat me? He started shouting, looking for a way to drop all his effort proved futile. And I continued eating him on the head, and he wheezed. She-goat, I'm warning you, get down now or else you won't like what I will do to you, he said angrily. What will you do? I asked in mockery. Before I know it, you won't be able, because I know he won't be able to reach me because I'm at his back, with my arms wrapped around his neck tightly. I gasped when his hand fondled my boobs. Angrily, I beat his ear hard and he shouted, ah! He shouted and I found my body on the ground with a loud thump. Ah! I winced and glared at him, only to find his ears and eyes red. His eyes looked like he's about to cry, and I laughed in mockery. My dirty husband wants to cry. I laughed in mockery before standing up. How dare you beat my ear? He asked with fury in his eyes, which I found intimidating. That serves you right, I said, and stuck my tongue at him before running into my room. Alexander's point of view. I foamed in anger as I watched Sonia run inside after mocking me. Like, seriously, I do wonder the reason why I accepted to marry her, considering the fact that she's stupid and senseless. She's not even beautiful. I promised on my dick that I used to fuck us ladies that you will regret this day. I whispered and left my room to get dressed for work. Sonia's point of view. I screamed when the dish I was washing fell from my hand and broke into pieces. Immediately it crashed. Alexander walked inside the kitchen. He looked breathtaking, but I always drool over him, but that will never happen today. I thought he left for work already, I thought. Can't you be sensible for once? He shouted. Are you indirectly telling me that I'm senseless? I asked angrily. Yes, you are senseless. If you are not senseless, you will know how to handle a dish. Push, I've forgotten you might never seen a or bought expensive dish before in your entire generation, he said mockingly, and I balled my fist. See your last wish, I said, with the intention of teaching me a lesson he will never forget in his entire life. Aha, he laughed. Last wish? What are you gonna do? Fight me again? Let me warn you, if you try anything funny, I will make sure I win you, bitch, he said, and that was it. I moved towards him, and immediately I kicked him at the place where the sun does not rise. Ouch, he said, and grabbed his dick before looking up. How dare you? He asked with anger, evident in his voice. That's for abusing my entire family, and this is for calling me a bitch, idiotic husband, I said, and kicked his face, leaving him to sort his pains. Alexandra's point of view. I sat down in the office thinking of how to deal with this crazy woman which people call my wife. I can never accept her into my life or as my wife. I smirked and an idea came to me. Dear Sonia, prepare for my revenge, I said and laughed evilly. And I laughed evilly. I was still thinking when someone barged into my office, revealing my crazy wife, who was fooling me and alive only to receive a hard glare from her. Why are you laughing, idiotic husband? She asked angrily. And how does my laughing concern you, she-goat? I asked mockingly. I told you not to call me that stinking name again, she retorted. And what will you do? I asked, standing up with a smirk on my face. This, she replied. Before I could stop her, she has already kicked me at my forbidden zone. Ah, I groaned in pain, kneeling down. I thought it was the end of her craziness, but it seems that was wrong. She grabbed my ear and twisted it hard, and I screamed in pain. Sonia, please, I'm begging you, let me go. I begged almost at the point of tears. So you know that's my name, that my name is Sonia, and you have the guts to call me she-goat. she said, and twisted my ear more and more harder. Before that, I almost think that my ear has been removed from my face. Please, Sonia, I will do anything you want me to do. Just let go of my ears, I said with a harsh voice. I'm just trying my best not to cry, or else she might use that as an excuse or a chance to mock me. Don't worry about doing anything for me, because you are going to do something for someone else, she said, and dragged me outside the office, heading to the company's floor. I was confused about what she said earlier about doing something for someone else. We got to my secretary post stand, which was now crowded with all the workers, which got me wondered about what they are doing outside. I felt my ear being twisted more and more, and I let out a painful scream, which earned the attention of the workers, and they hauled back and their eyes widened. They won't have it. After all, no one has the guts to twist their boss, including my mom. But this crazy wife of mine has done it. Wait, did I just call her my wife? The sound of wife tastes sour in my mouth. My workers paved way for us. This is your surprise and the work I'm giving to you. What? I shouted in surprise. What she was talking about is my secretary, who has been beaten black and blue, and her coat has been torn. And her coat has been torn, and she was almost naked. I wouldn't have recognized her based on the condition I met her, if not for her face and for the clothes she was wearing. I faced my crazy woman angrily. What is this all about? I asked angrily. Shh. Abby, don't waste your strength based on the job you are about to do. Because your secretary said you and I have been having sex for a year now, and she asked me to back off. So I want to know how the sex looks like. Now strip and get to business, she said evilly. What? Sonia's point of view. I giggled evilly, seeing the reaction on Alexander's face. The action was priceless, although I wouldn't let him strip naked, but I want to pull his leg a little bit. Strip, I said, more like an order. What? He shouted. Are you crazy? He asked, perplexed. Crazy about you and your secretary, I replied, smirking. How could you expect your own husband to strip in front of my staff? He said fearfully. I was happy that I have control over him, but him calling himself husband sounds off. Now to act like a happy couple. I moved closer to Alexander. Let's act like a normal couple and behave like we are in love. You don't want your staff to know that we have been pretending all this while. Let's pretend that we are happy before, I whispered to him. I kicked his cheek. He looked startled but composed quickly and smiled, pulling me closer by my waist and returned the kiss on my cheek. I turned to the useless secretary and glared at her. Does this prove that we are in love? I asked, leaning at her, but she didn't answer. Cat cut your tongue, I asked in mockery. What you did now doesn't prove anything. Anyone can do that, including best friend, she said, and I find her word to be true. Seriously, what we did was lame. I looked at her only to find anxious looks on their faces. It seems that they believe our words. It was now that I noticed that some are recording it. I looked back to seek help from Alexander, using sign with my eyes, but that stupid husband of mine acted as if he didn't see me. If I had known, I would have left his stuffy secretary alone to continue being bitchy and not fight with her. And now I'm in a mess. Cat cut your tongue also, she asked, laughing. I was about to reply her when I was dragged by a hand and landed on a hard chest. I looked up to see my husband. It was as if we were both in a staring competition. We were looking at each other lovingly, forgetting the presence of the staff. You want to prove that we love each other and not pretending? Alexander asked no one in particular. Here is the proof, he said, and his lips landed on mine. My eyes widened in shock, but I slowly embraced the feeling of being kissed by my crush. Yes, my crush. Alexander has been my crush since childhood, but his arrogance pushed me to hide my feelings for him. When I heard about my marriage to him, I was so happy, but I have to prove hard to get. Being kissed by Alexander felt like paradise. He pressed my boom, and I gasped, which gave him chance to dip his tongue inside my savoring taste. He kissed passionately and slowly, which I reciprocated with the same pace. He nipped on my lower lips, and I moaned. We heard the staff clapping, and some were like, "How? I wish my boyfriend or husband is as romantic as this." If only they know that this was just an act, but for me, it's my first intimate with the other gender. We broke the kiss with our forehead together. The loud ovation caused us to break apart. We faked a smile and then turned to the secretary who was murdering me with her eyes. But who cares? Are you satisfied with our answer? I asked, entwining my hands with Alexander's own. And one more thing, Bella, you are fired, I said with authority. You are in no position to fire me, she replied rudely. And what made you think so? She's my wife. She has the right to hire and fire anyone, as long as this is my company. So like she said, you are fired. Alexander replied, and I was stunned that he defended me. Ran out in tears. Bella ran out in tears, and the staff left for their post, leaving me and Xander together. I was now nervous and shy to look at his face, remembering the kiss we shared earlier. I'll just leave you. And thank you for defending me, I said, and I was about to leave when he pulled me back. I looked at his face, and I quickly regretted ever looking at his face. Seeing his face reopened the emotions that I've been hiding for many years. Don't you think we should stop these pretenses? He asked, and I looked up immediately. What do you mean by that? Hope is not what I'm thinking, I asked, and he nodded. You want a divorce? I asked at the point of breaking down. Yes, that was what... No, that's not what I meant. What do you mean? I asked in confusion. What I mean is that we should give our marriage a chance and let's see if it can work out, he said, and I sighed in relief. What is wrong? He asked.